This is it.
Whoa! Look at this. It's the game house.
This is it. RJC Media showed up.
I'm back with a vengeance.
He's more excited to see Hyphy than I am. Came back from his adventure. How was your trip?
Oh, it was awesome, man. Yeah, Montana's a cool place.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got some good come-ups?
You know, I got a lot more than expected, but just a bunch of bread and butter stuff. Nothing really that interesting. Lots of fallouts.
For the town, though, it was good.
I mean, it's a small town in the middle of nowhere, so for there to have been even one video game there was shocking to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You got some goodies for me?
Yeah, let me go get it. First things first, let me just set these aside. This is yours. These are yours. These are... Hold on. These are yours. I accidentally took them last time I was here.
Thief!
Yes.
You guys haven't played Jericho. That's actually good for the time. I think it was a launch title. But I've been looking for this. Yeah, close to a launch title. Ghostbusters. Awesome.
And then these two you wanted. I found these in Cedar City, Utah. They were $10 each, so $10 each for you.
Awesome, awesome.
You wanted them?
Yeah, definitely. Anything unique or different that I don't have in the collection, I definitely want to add to the PS4. PS4 right now, it's the best time to collect for it. So thank you, man.
Yep. And then I ended up getting this in a bigger deal for $15. So I know you wanted it. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome. Woo! And it's complete. Yeah, this is getting a remake. I'm not sure if you know about that, but
I didn't know that.
yeah, they're doing a remake. They announced it around the same time Lollipop Chainsaw got announced for a remake. But Shadow of the Damned, this is actually a very trippy game, Silent Hill-ish type of game. I guess you could say it was more like Evil West. I don't know, but
is Lollipop also a Suda 51 game?
yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes. Looking for a thumbstick to replace that with, but maybe I could just stick some stuff over it. But does it have drift?
I have not turned this controller on in like 6 years.
Okay, so you
I
don't
have
know.
no idea
You
if
don't
it
know.
works.
And then he has some games here he's going to resurface for payment of something. I can't remember what it was.
Controller.
Oh, the controller. That's right. There you go. Awesome. Awesome. So I'll get to work on that later. And then what do you got here?
This is just a GameStop stack.
Gotta do some trades. All right, Grail Bound Gaming, your package is ready to go. I appreciate you, man, and thank you. Art sale for $3. I'm not good with anime.
I think that's the Ren or something.
Yeah, Ren, and then that's her sister, right?
Yeah. But her outfit looks like that DS that Izuka gave.
Yeah, I was aiming on the amiibos, and I have a small Xbox original collection, but hey.
So I'm trying to grow mine and you guys selling for the room today too.
The game house. Is that what Gackt said?
Well, it looks like a game.
Really? Yeah.
That's what I said first time I came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she allows me to have the house this way, which is rare, but she's like, I don't give a crap, you know what I mean? Do your thing. So she's very supportive, man. She helps me with the thumbnails and everything, so.
That's what's up. I've had this before.
Well, I mean, I didn't learn that until later. I mean, I like Sony, you know what I mean? I was used to Sony.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, another example was I had a Gears of War 360. Okay.
I got two of those.
Yeah. I love the thing. And then
Yeah.
Gackt, I had a white PS3, and Gackt sent me over a white 360. I just downloaded all my games with Gears of War. I want the white ones to match. I want to flip the Gears of War one. Because all you have to do is pull the hard drive out and stick it in. I was like, what do you mean? On PS3, you have to delete everything and then re-download everything. And he's like, not on the 360.
Yeah, you just pull the
drive out and put it in. I was like, what? I was like, oh, dude. I was like, and then from then on, I was like, you know what? Xbox, man, they made things simple. Yeah. I mean, they might have had the red ring of death in the beginning, but they made things simple when they made the Slim. Yeah. The Slims are tanks, believe it or not, and the Ultra Slims, they're both tanks. Yeah. But the ones before that, those were crap. Yeah,
the Jasper, the original Jaspers and the Elites. Yeah. Elite was trying to be better, but then they would still, some of them would get the red.
Someone would still get.
Yeah, some of them. Bro, when I got the Xbox 360,
I was excited, but I had the launch 360, and I went through at least 6 of them.
Wow.
All within warranty.
Crazy. That's
And then
crazy.
I got the Elite. It lasted me another 2 years. And then when the Slim came out, that was great. But then that other model, I forget what it's called, the E.
E model,
It's so ugly.
Yeah.
It does
The
look
tray
bad.
is all flimsy, and I'm like, I don't
And
like
it had a
it.
different power cord. It had the circle
yeah.
instead of the figure 8 one.
I was a glutton for punishment during that era.
Oh yeah, and then the RCA cable was like a
circle.
head jack phone.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
put it in, it's
so
real
good.
skinny.
Yeah. But I was on that 360 mainly for the online play. So Xbox Live was like the best in terms of playing live, like online
With
other
other
players.
people. and
Versus
players.
PS3, they had, you could play online, but it was glitchy because it was free.
Yeah.
Online play was free, so I understand why people were playing that a lot. But matchmaking was the best on 360. in my
I think the
opinion.
360
Best
Live
control,
shuts down
too.
in like a week.
Yeah. So you're gonna see a lot of.
I didn't.
You're gonna see a lot of.
I didn't appreciate the joysticks on the controller in the 360 because they weren't even. Because I was so used to Sony.
Yeah,
It
I
being
like
even.
it.
I'm still.
But I actually
Yeah.
adjusted, and I like the difference
I
because
prefer
it gives
that.
you don't creak up your hands.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
bad.
because it's like that, and like you don't have to like stretch to get the D-pad.
Yeah.
It's actually at the right level, in my opinion, on the 360. So I
Oh,
thought it
yeah,
was the best
this is-
controller.
This is it.
But, you
I mean,
know-
out here it's kind of a scarcity mindset because
Oh, okay.
it's so insular. Like your next closest markets are you got to go all the way out to Lancaster, or you got to go all the way down the pass to get to the Inland Empire, or you go to Barstow, and that's like it. And there's just not that much out here, so everyone's just like, games, mine.
Yep.
You know,
How
because
far
they
is-
think, oh my god, I'm never gonna see these ever again.
Gigantic Goodwill in San Francisco on the corner of Van Ness and Market, and they had CRTs on deck. Hella shit. And you go back to the movie section, every movie is like $1. Video games are
Buck, yeah, $2.
$1,
Yeah.
$2, and I would, every other weekend I would go pick some shit up.
Yeah, I mean, and it's sad because not that I need to now. Like I was explaining this in a couple videos I did ago. I don't need to go to the Goodwill, but for families that do, it's sad because now prices are so spiked. You know what I mean? And it's not all the YouTubers' fault, but I would say it's a good 75% their fault. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't want to admit it because, in my personal opinion, I think they're ashamed. They know they did. You know, so I don't know.
It's not even only games. It's like
Oh yeah, toys.
Jeans are like $8 at like any good.
Oh, yeah.
like $80 jackets. The Salvation Army. And,
I saw a pair of Machiavelli branded shoes, and they were like $250. Yeah, Tupac, when he had his clothing line
I
right
remember
after he died.
Shirts and
Yep,
jeans.
yep.
I've seen that. I didn't know there were sneakers.
Yeah,
But
and this was a self-owned thrift store. It wasn't even a Goodwill. They had them for like $250. And I was like, man, that's nuts, man. It's just sad, that it's resulted to this. There are still cheap things like utensils for the kitchen and stuff like that, but the majority of the stuff is just priced to what market value they are. You know what I mean?
And that's the stuff you see on the floor, not even the stuff they hold for themselves and put on shop.
Oh yeah,
they do
exactly.
put it online now. Everything.
Oh yeah,
Anything.
yeah.
good.
Well, I mean, everything out here in California, from what I've seen, I've always talked to like a Goodwill employee or manager, and they're like, no, we don't get games in. It's literally sent to our online store and it's auctioned off. And I know that Right Way and a few other people, they still score at Goodwill, but that's over in the east, and that's the southeast or northeast of the United States, in the middle of nowhere. So either those district managers haven't caught on yet or something, but eventually that shit's gonna dry up. So what do you think, man? Where's games gonna go 20 years from now?
20 years from now?
20 years.
Well, I think the nostalgia for probably what's it, 5th generation, so like PS1, N64 and all that stuff, probably gonna be gone. Just like how the Atari market nowadays is pretty much dead, because there's no more nostalgia for it. All the, people who would have been nostalgia for that, for all the Atari stuff, they either already have it or they're not interested anymore. I think the same thing's gonna happen with N64, PS1, and anything before that nowadays. I'd say maybe the only bargaining chip is Atari games suck, and but SNES, PS1, all that stuff are there's actually quality stuff there. But I think generally speaking, it's gonna be like that, where all that stuff's gonna go down, the modern stuff is gonna go up a bit, and then I don't know. It depends what this next generation.
Well, you know how Atari has like faded away. Do you think
Atari's going to fade away. A lot of the older generation Nintendo stuff and PS1 stuff and all that stuff is going to fade away. Not to the same degree as Atari, because I mean Atari is like kind of just worthless nowadays. I don't think old Nintendo and Sony stuff is going to be worthless, but it's definitely going to be a lot lower than it is now. I mean, I don't think 20 years from now, Silent Hill on PS1 is going to be going for $200.
No?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Because I think a lot of the nostalgia for that game is going to go away. Like, for example, I mean, this is just anecdotal, but I tried playing Silent Hill 1 on PS1 for 20 minutes. I thought it was horrible. Like, I literally hated it. The controls were terrible, the graphics sucked, the voice acting was god-awful. I had no nostalgia for it, so I literally, within 10 minutes of me shutting off the game, I listed it and sold it instantly. Just because I was like, I don't want to play this. This is garbage.
It is a thing that where you needed to have been there when it came out to appreciate it.
And I think a lot of kids are going to kind of be like that when they play a lot of the older stuff. Now, there's still some games that are older that are going to be quality no matter what. Super Mario World, you know, your Crash Bandicoots, that are always going to be good. But a lot of those type of games where they were good for their time, I don't think they're going to hold their value. And I think the real thing to look out for is this next generation seeing no physical games, what that's going to do to the current market.
What about you, 20 years from now?
What's the question?
Where game collecting or games in general, where they will be?
I would say, well, obviously, you know, digital is going to kill physical. It's happening right now. And I've been in agreement with you, like, you know, PS5, maybe whatever the Switch 2, or if there's something after the PS5, that would be the last generation of collecting, like physical media. Yeah,
Nintendo in general. I honestly don't think Xbox or PlayStation are going to have any physical titles this next generation. Yeah. I think Nintendo, it's a possibility, but at the same time, I feel kind of like Nintendo will pull something up its sleeve and say, guess what? We're backwards compatible, but we're only backwards compatible with eShop titles. Just out of nowhere, and people will be pissed, you know? Like, it's a possibility.
I think there's still going to be, like, you know, LRG type companies.
Oh yeah.
But they will exist.
They'll exist for the sake of physical that people, you know, that want. Because like, but the thing is not going to be as limited, I don't think. Mainly because they already are monetizing, like, you know, physical right now with like collector's edition. But the thing that I'm noticing a lot now with collector's editions is that they're including no actual physical game, and it's just a digital code
or a steel book with it with a hole in it to put a disc inside.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Put the receipt in there.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, I'm gonna punch my code through the spindle. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was like, you know, eavesdropping on what you were saying, and as far as like the older generation type stuff, I think it will decrease in value the same way that NES has decreased in value. The same way that SNES has decreased in value, mainly because they're porting everything. They're porting it either to, like,
or there's a lot of remakes.
There's a lot of remakes and remasters,
yeah.
And because of that, and that's the scope of how it's working, because a lot of game companies are not creating new shit. They're just going back into the library, back into the IP licensing that they have, and you know, just.
I think in an aspect, it's the same way as movies right now. You see more remakes in movies than original ideas, and, and a lot of original ideas are lacking in the video game market for sure.
Yeah,
you know.
And I think original. This is what I was going towards, like original games that, you know, with that lower print production will still be collectible and retain some value. And as the generation of folks that collected that die off or get older, get senile, can't play the games anymore, that's
the next generation takes over, and they have their nostalgia for whatever that was.
That's when Switch goes up. That's when everything else goes up, and then everything else goes down, like Coleco and whatever, you know. But there's still like, you know, there's still gonna be collectability with the older shit, but if that will just depend on how many there is.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, the high amount.
Well, like I had this theory. I said, right now you can go to a yard sale and you can still find a Mario 64 out in the wild.
Exactly.
Now, 20 years from now, will you be able to find a God of War Ragnarok out at a yard sale? Do you think that since there's more collectors now than there was back then, and more secrets are now exposed. People are more holding on to things rather than getting rid of them because they know value now. And a lot of that has been exposed because of YouTubers, etc., and just market in general.
Like, I think you're gonna find, like, in the future, there's gonna be a ton of Switch shit that's still sealed.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot. Mainly because of folks, like, on the internet, like, you know, taking notes and like, okay, I'm not gonna open this. I'm gonna buy 2 copies of everything. One to keep, one to do something in the future, and they're gonna realize it's only worth $10 extra than what they paid for it. Or like they would have to take an L on it. So I think it'll be difficult in terms of that. It's gotta be like something that's literally low print production that's gonna determine that type of shit. Yeah.
Ivy came bearing gifts and dropped me this, so very stoked, man. I appreciate that, man. Means a lot. Something I can add in. Unlike Gackt Cognac just giving me a whole bunch of different stuff that I can't add into my collection.
I didn't say it.
I appreciate it, man. It means a lot coming out here and stuff too, man. Pretty cool, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, bro.
Austin high-fee these to give to Gackt because he's going to go back to Vegas and it avoids me paying any fees on any shipping. So I appreciate that, man. He's doing some calculations here.
Yeah, the limited edition actually doesn't sell on Amazon at all. No.
What did you get again? Let's repeat all that.
So, from Hyphy, I ended up getting Zombie Army Trilogy, Dead by Daylight Nightmare Edition, and Tiger Woods 14. I guess this is the last one that was released on PS3, so people go crazy for it on Amazon. Yeah, all that for $40. Not bad.
Awesome, awesome. Wanted to say thank you, Hyphy, for coming by, man. Got him to his location. He's about to venture off. But over here with RJC. Good times, man. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for the gift, too. So Hyphy had to venture out, and so we're going. We're moving, right? We're doing our thing.
Wheeling and dealing.
We're here at Las Vegas Pawn. Nothing good there, unfortunately, but we'll be going to 7th Street Pawn. So I did find this at the 7th Street Pawn. It was marked at 8. I got it for 5. I did not find any games at the Salvation Army, but I did find the Jurassic Park quadrilogy, or whatever you want to call it, for $6 on 4K. So stoked. Back at the bandits are back. The bandits are back. Found something cool here.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you. I got flashback. So, and then he got some games here.
Pretty good pickups.
Thank you. Game hunting at Barnes & Noble. Let's do it. Woo! $1. Pretty good. Some more games over there. So, at the Secret Center, I got the Xbox 360 250 gig for $15. These 2 games for $2.50 each. Both of these need resurfacing. And then RJC, I donated $1 for him to get Horizon 1 on the 360.
Thank you so much.
You're
helping me out in these hard times.
You're welcome. Had some good ones, yeah?
Yeah, not bad so far.
Yeah, boy.
Oh yeah, I didn't even check the game games.
Spot. That's all good. Those are empty cases. So what'd you find?
I think we got a good little deal going here. Frogger, second one, Resident Evil, Shadow of the Colossus.
Best game of all time.
Army at 240 a day, and some clearance games. So. I'll put this on a video, bro. This is a private conversation.
Yeah, this is...